So what happens to your family and your kids and all your stuff if you happen to die without a plan? Well, if you don't plan ahead of time, the state's going to decide for you, and that's likely not what you want. Hey, this is Travis Christiansen. I'm an estate planning attorney here in Southern Utah with offices in Hurricane and St. George. And I just kind of want to spend a little bit of time today and break down and explain how we go about doing an estate plan. So, number one is you've got to remember why it's important. Because if you fail to plan, it can take a long time. I've had probate cases go on 2-3 years where people didn't have a plan and they're fighting over things, trying to decide what's there and what isn't there and who's supposed to get what. It destroys families. It costs a ton of money. And there's also, I've had times when people have fought over, a couple of grandmas fighting over who's going to raise the grandkids. I mean, can you imagine a more heart-wrenching, gut-wrenching experience? So listen, estate planning is about love. It's about giving your family peace of mind and you having peace of mind knowing that if something were to happen to you, your kids are going to be taken care of, your family's going to be taken care of, and things are going to be done in a way that you want, not the way a judge wants. Now, that's why it matters. So here's the process. First thing we do is an initial consultation. We're going to sit down with you and talk to you and find out a little bit about kind of your goals. What do you want to accomplish? What's your family look like? Just that sort of thing. What's your history? Is this your first marriage, second marriage? All of those kind of things. We're going to start to formulate a plan. Then the next thing is we need to get an inventory of your assets because the type and quantity and value of your assets makes a difference in what kind of a plan we might recommend. So we need to know what you owe, what you have, whether it's, one house, two houses, a vacation home in Hawaii, whatever you might have, or if you just have an apartment and some kids. We need to know kind of what your picture looks like so we can make a good recommendation. The next step is you've got to make some decisions. And some of these are really hard decisions. You've got to decide who you want to fulfill some key roles. In a good estate plan, you're going to have a trust. You're going to need to pick successor trustees. You're going to have a pour-over will. You may need to pick an executor for that pour-over will if we ever were to need it. You're going to have durable powers of attorney, giving someone the ability to make financial decisions on your behalf if you're not able to. You've got to decide those people. We're going to help you create a healthcare power of attorney, an advance directive. So in that document, you've got to decide who you want to maybe make medical decisions for you if you're not able to. So these are big decisions. And a lot of people really struggle with these. And the thing to remember is you may not want to always pick family ties. It could be a close friend. It could be, a trusted ecclesiastical person, a pastor, a priest, somebody. But you need to make those decisions, pick who you want to do that. And in some cases, there are professional companies that provide this service. And often we will call upon those companies to provide some of these services. So after we've got all of the information, you've made those decisions, and we decide on what plan we're going to put together for you. Now it's our job to start drafting those documents. Now in our office, usually staff will do a first draft, and then I'll do a second draft, and then some other staff will then kind of clean that up and format it for printing, and then we look at it and review it and customize it. And, we spend quite a few hours putting this together for you. Now, then the last thing is signing. Well, it's not the last thing. It's second or third to last thing. So then we have a signing meeting. Now, usually in our office, we block out 2 hours for this signing meeting. And here's why. We're going to give you printed copies of your documents. We want you to review those and read them and ask questions. This is your chance to try and understand the legalese and what all of it means. Now, we've gone through a lot of effort to try and format our documents so that they're easy for folks to understand, but there's still going to be questions. I want you to check names because maybe we've got a typo and we've misspelled a name, and so check those kind of things. So we're going to give you a chance to review and ask questions, and we'll do some final edits. Then finally, we will print those documents on good paper, have you sign them. We have notaries and witnesses, and we get all of that done. So that's signing. And then my office, we're going to make sure if you own a home, we're going to record the deed to your home and make sure it is in the trust or other document you might prepare for that purpose. We're going to get that done. Then, here's the thing to also remember. An estate plan is not set it and forget it. you've got to take the time to review that estate plan. Anytime, at least every 3 to 5 years, or if there is a significant change, a divorce, death in the family, death of maybe somebody you picked as a trustee, maybe somebody develops an addiction problem. Anytime there's just a change, you need to get back and visit with us or another attorney and get that done. So here's the deal. If you haven't got your estate planning done, please call a competent estate planning attorney where you live and get it done. If you're near me in Southern Utah, we would be thrilled to have you choose us and come and let us do that work for you. And we'll try and do it quickly and efficiently. And remember, estate planning really is a great way to express love and concern for your family by making things easier for them as they mourn your loss once you pass away. At least they're not going to have to worry about things. One of my favorite meetings of my whole career is when the kids of someone who I did estate planning for comes in. We're able to verify that the home is in the trust, the bank accounts are in the trust, and they don't have to do anything really except put together one short one-page document to take to the county recorder's office, and now they can move on and take care of mom and dad's assets. So that is how estate planning should work in the end, because otherwise, like I started with, it can be a mess. So please get it done.